Hello, this is Tony Hiller from realclimatescience.com. Less than 4 years ago, Boris Johnson said he was going to power all UK homes with wind. He said he would accomplish this by the year 2030 and make Britain the world leader in low-cost clean power. And a few weeks ago, a study out of Littleton, Colorado, concluded that wind power had overtaken fossil fuels for UK electricity generation. We've seen the propaganda, now let's take a look at what's actually going on. This graph shows the percentage of UK electricity generated by wind last month. The average percentage was 17%, and there were long periods of time when there was little or no wind. And this graph shows gas-powered electricity in the UK over the same time period. The average percentage of electricity from gas in the UK last month was 25%, considerably higher than that generated by wind. We can already see that this headline is fake news. Now let's take a closer look at the details. The green line in this graph shows UK wind power percent last month, and the red line shows electricity generation from natural gas last month. It's easy to see what's going on. When the wind fails, it gets replaced by natural gas-powered electricity. So Britain needs to keep all of their natural gas facilities staffed, turned on, and ready to go at any moment. Wind is not reliable, which means that the UK is paying for two types of power sources all the time instead of just one. Britain has some of the highest electricity rates in the world, and the reason is because they've made decisions which force them to double up all of their electricity. If they removed wind power from the grid entirely, they could instead use reliable natural gas, which is already in place. Electricity would be much cheaper, and the grid would be easier to manage if the wind turbines disappeared. Wind turbines in the UK are an environmental disaster, and they are destroying the scenery. Sooner or later, most likely sooner, they will be abandoned. That will leave behind unsightly monuments to the stupidity of politicians like Boris Johnson. If the wind isn't blowing, it doesn't make any difference how many wind turbines you have. They could erect 1 million wind turbines in the UK, and if the wind's not blowing, they're not going to generate any electricity. 10 times 0 is 0. 100 times 0 is 0. 1,000,000 times 0 is 0. And 1,000,000,000,000 times 0 is 0. I keep hearing green advocates saying that it's just a matter of scale. This is disordered thinking. The problem is that wind is not reliable, and there's nothing they can do to change that. Toto has been pulling back the curtain on the climate and green energy scams for 16 years. You can visit him and his family on the web at realclimatescience.com.